How's it going, guys? It is Luke here. I have a UU match for you today, which is a little bit different. You know, it's a little bit change. Normally don't upload anything unless it's OU or Ubers, but I kind of figured you guys would appreciate the change. So, anyway, I'm really tired. I had like 2 hours sleep last night. Ended up staying up till like 7 in the morning because Skype calls are awesome. And I'm also really ill, so yeah, sorry if I sound like shit, but that's why. But anyway, I'm just going to lead with Azelf there, and he's going to go ahead and lead with the Steelix. I'm just going to U-turn out. It's going to go for the Stuff Rocks, I believe, and then Iron Tails are going to be, not Iron Tails, Dragon Tails are going to be happening for a while now, pretty much, and it's just me coming in with, you know, filler stuff. So, you know, I'm just going to set up a taunt, then basically get forced out, and then start going for Zen Headbutts, missing all over the place, that kind of general stuff. The stuff that generally screws you over in a match in the long run. There's a lot of stuff that went wrong in this match that you guys, it's not like a big deal. Like, you see that I missed the Zen Headbutt and stuff like that. It doesn't really seem like a significant part, but it really is later on in the match, because things die quickly in UU. I mean, it's a stally game, but things do die pretty quickly, obviously, due to them not being as bulky as some of the OU pokes. Some of them are more bulky, but, you know, just some of them don't have that bulk. So, anyway, I'm back into Azelf here. I'm just going to go for the Zen Headbutts again, as he's pretty much refusing to switch. So at this point, I'm fairly confident with Drapion, you know, I can take it out with the EQ, so I'm just going to stay in and go for that, and it does end up taking out the Steelix, which is great, because he did kind of mess my team up a little bit there. He did get off quite a few Dragon Tails, and Rocks were up, so, yeah, it wasn't appreciated. Thank God he didn't end up roaring me out into my Zapdos or Dragon Tail. So, anyway, he's going to, I believe, burn me. I got burned somewhere, I don't even. Anyway, I'm just going to set up some Toxic Spikes because, you know, them hazards are going to be useful later on. As you guys are going to see, UU hazards make a big difference, a big difference. So, I'm going to go out to my Polion now, just because I do resist the Air Slash, and I'm assuming he doesn't really have anything to touch me. As you can see, he goes for the Future Sight, and his previous move was the Air Slash. So that does tell me that it doesn't really have anything for me. So I'm just going to stay in here and set up my own rocks, and then go for the Ice Beam. Now here I'm going to predict him to want to go for the Roost, obviously, but, you know, he's going to go for that, so I'm just going to go for the Surf, but unfortunately it does, like, pitiful damage, because Napoleon hits like a bitch, unless it's, like, Sub-Salic or something, but this isn't, so pretty much, I'm just going to Roar. He's going to end up being forced out into his Mismagius, which is fine. Now, the reason why I switch out here was because I was fearing the Thunderbolt. It is a common move on the Mismagius, so I end up going out to my Drapion to scout for that. But he ends up going for the Confuse Ray, which is fine. I don't really mind that, seeing as I'm just going to double back to my Empoleon, knowing that he doesn't have the Thunderbolt anyway. And he's going to go for a Calm Mind as I switch, which is fine, because this thing isn't really a threat. I do have Roar in this set. But as you guys saw earlier, oh no, it isn't now, sorry, but it goes for a Shadow Ball, and I get the Spec D drop, which sucks. But I'm going to Roar out, obviously, he's got the Calm Mind. I don't want that thing in here with them boosts, so it's going to Roar out to his Kingdra, which is fine. It's just going to go for the return for some reason. I don't really understand that, but I'm just going to go for the Roar again, bring out the Mismagius again, and it's going to burn me with a Will-O-Wisp, I guess just for the residual damage, because it doesn't have the Thunderbolt. So that works out really well, and it does have Confuse Ray, I knew it did. So he goes for the Confuse Ray, and luckily for me, here he goes for the Calm Mind, and I do manage to break through the confusion and get the Roar off, because if I didn't, it might have been a little bit of trouble, since I don't really have much to outspeed it. So Kingdra comes back in now. I'm guessing at this point it's just going to take me out, which it does at the end of this turn, which is fine. Oh god, I feel like shit. Anyway, I'm going to bring Azelf in now because I can hit this thing with a Zen Headbutt and hopefully get the flinch, which I did get, which was nice because, you know, I didn't want to lose my Azelf just yet. So I'm going to go for the Zen Headbutt here, and then to make up for that flinch, you know, I'm going to miss, which is kind of karma, but ends up taking me out anyway. But the Kingdra will go down this turn also, which is, you know, fairly nice for me. It's a double down, so I'm going to end up bringing in my Hitmontop here, as they're going to end up bringing in their Togekiss. Now, I do make a bit of a ballsy play. I end up staying in here, predicting the Roost, and go for the Toxic, which was a bit of a dodgy play, but it does pay off. And right here, I notice the only thing I have for this thing on my team really is a Zapdos, so I actually stay in and risk the flinch, which was really stupid, because obviously special hits, super effective hits, it's really not a good thing to do, but luckily for me, I do manage to get them rocks away, and that means I can bring in the Zapdos, which is great. So I can set up subs on this thing. It just goes for the Future Sight. That's not going to break my sub this turn, obviously. So he's going to go for the roost again. Now, I did predict that, but the only problem is there's nothing I can do about it, seeing as I'm Heatwave Discharge, so I just end up going for the Discharge. So he's going to go for the Air Slash and attempts to break my sub. It doesn't, however. I believe the Future Sight's going to kick in now, which will break my sub, which kind of sucks. But he's going to go out to the Swampert here now. Now, again, I'm just going to sub here to scout to see if he has anything for Zapdos. He ends up going for the Waterfall, which leads me to believe he doesn't have anything, but I'm still not sure. So I'm going to make the switch to scout for that. And he ends up going for the Waterfall again. So at this point, I'm fairly certain he doesn't have it, but I still don't believe him. So he's going to go for the Waterfall again as I go for the Taunt. Now, I'm expecting the Earthquake here, and I stay in to scout for that and end up going for the Pain Split, which he does carry. Obviously, it is a stab move, so it is very likely. So here I'm just going to make a very predictable switch out to my Zapdos, because I really want to scout for this Ice move, because I'm pretty sure he's packing it. Swamperts always do. So I go into my Zapdos here. Now, the plan was just to make a double back straight to my Dusclops to see if what he wants to go for, if it was the Waterfall, and as you see, he does finally reveal the Avalanche. I guess near to death he didn't want to over-predict, so, you know, that ends up happening, which works out for me. So now Miss Magius comes in, he's going to go for the Shadow Ball. Thanks to my Bulk, I'm going to be able to take that and basically get off a Nightshade, but he's going to kill me off to the second Shadow Ball, which is fine because, you know, I have the Drapion. So I'm going to bring this thing in. I should be able to outspeed, which I do, so I can take that thing out with a Crunch. And I believe he's going to go out to what is his last now, which is Vileplume. Now the plan was here to just get him to attack me after I get off a Taunt, because I know this thing likes to sub or, you know, do crazy stuff. So I end up taunting it, which is great. And then I basically kill it off to 2 Heat Waves. So that was a good game, dude. Thank you very much. If you guys could leave a comment, I'd really appreciate that, because I love feedback, honestly. If you leave a comment or reply, it'd be awesome. Previous battle annotation on the top left, you guys can click to join the Keldeo army, and I will see you guys tomorrow. P.S. Squirps is awesome. Lol, lol, lol. You want to dispute that? Fuck with me.